Coming up on WUFT's First at 5, hate and vandalism targeted towards Gainesville's mayor. His response to the crime and why he says this isn't the first time something like this has happened.
And the charter school fight in Newberry is growing, what a new proposal and budget means for both educators and parents.
And the UF weather team tracking a wet Wednesday when the storms and showers are expected to move out of our area. First at 5 starts right now.
First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Another act of vandalism strikes Gainesville's City Hall, this time aimed directly at the mayor's office. This is First at 5. I'm Rafael de los Santos.
And I'm Charlize Ramos. An investigation is underway after a window was broken in Mayor Harvey Ward's office. WFT's Alex Land is live at City Hall. Alex, you spoke with the mayor about the vandalism and what he calls a hate-filled note being left behind.
Shattered glass and a hate-driven note welcomed Mayor Harvey Ward to his office this morning. 30 minutes ago, we spoke to Mayor Ward about the damages to City Hall. A taped-down tarp now stands in place of Mayor Harvey Ward's office window, and the culprit is still on the loose. Ward says this incident is gaining more city attention because it appears that a pattern of crimes is developing. Gainesville police say that the vandalism that occurred Tuesday at City Hall matches another incident that happened here at the old library building earlier this March. At this incident, there was another shattered window and a note that used racist language. Tuesday's vandalism marks the third shattered window at City Hall Plaza this month. Ward says law enforcement is doing everything possible to find the person responsible. Since the investigation is ongoing, Ward says he will not disclose the contents of the letter left in his office. Ward says security measures around city buildings will be heightened to keep the community safe. To the community, warning them about the act of vandalism. City officials encourage you to remain vigilant of your surroundings in the City Hall Plaza area.
Strong storms moved through north central Florida today, bringing with it dozens of lightning strikes. Lightning is believed to be the cause of a gas leak in the city of Alachua. The city posted this picture on your screen from the scene at the Turkey Creek Golf and Country Club. The gas is off and the GRU is working to fix the leak. The UF weather radar is showing more showers in our area this evening. The weather team says bands of rain will move through over the next few hours. Now taking a look at Prains Prairie live on I-75 from our DOT cameras, you can see gloomy skies and slick roads. The rain has been on and off for much of the day. Meteorologist Maxham is live in the weather studio, timing out when we can expect the rain to move out.
Yeah, rain actually has lightened up a little bit in the last hour across most of the Gainesville area. Further north, rain stopped for the moment around Santa Fe, just to the east side of 75, west side rather. We're watching another wave of rain about to move in, and we're going to see more of these waves through the rest of the evening and overnight. And some of that rain could be heavy at times, accompanied by a little bit of lightning and thunder. The clouds sticking around. It is right around the 70-degree mark around campus. We're cooled down in areas where it has rained, 60s in most of the greater Gainesville area. Quite a bit cooler than this time yesterday, but more rain is coming through the next several hours. Temperatures are going to stay nearly steady, but a few more waves with some very heavy rainfall moving through. We'll track that heaviest rain coming up.
Education First for Newberry wants to convert its 3 schools to charters. This will allow Newberry to create an educational system for the city. WUFT's Kennedy Chambers is live in the studio with how the community is reacting to a budget proposal mapping out the group's financial plan.
The third community meeting featured a panel of financial and legal experts to help voters understand why the budget was formulated this way. I spoke with teachers and parents to see how they feel about this big decision.
Brandy Oldman moved her family to Newberry for the public education.
Oh, I had 1 kid when I moved to Newberry and then had 3 more because I loved the school so much and I was comfortable.
Her feeling of comfort is passing, with the possibility of schools converting to charters.
So when you think about the cost,
She attended the third community meeting hosted by Newberry Education First, where the group released employee packets including contracts, governance, and curriculum. Newberry parent and charter supporter Joel Searby led the meeting.
We started with our teachers. We started with reviewing their current contracts, their current pay scales, what extra things they were getting, like stipends for coaching or activities, if they were teaching band or working on some other specific group. And we made sure that we provided a package for our teachers.
Oakview Middle School teacher Kristen Main wishes the details would have been released sooner.
Would have appreciated them releasing a budget that would have had mistakes sooner, giving everybody a chance to weigh in on it, as opposed to we're now, I don't know off the top of my head, but within 2 weeks of the vote, and that's a lot of information to go through.
With a vote approaching, more time to consider is what Brandy really wants.
This is irreversible almost. If it passes, we can't just petition like they did to take the schools. We can't petition it back to get them back if everything they say doesn't go how they say. We can't do that. So it's a no for me.
Voting takes place at Newberry Elementary School, Oakview Middle School, and Newberry High School Friday, April 5th through Friday, April 12th.
It's important to remember voting is closed on the weekends. Ballots are being delivered this week to eligible voters. Live in the studio, Kennedy Chambers, WUFT News.
Students protested against a faculty budget cut for diversity positions outside of the Board of Governors meeting.
It's strategic because they're meeting in this very room in the Right Student Union, and our goal here is to be so loud that they can't possibly ignore us.
The last protest it held was at the state capitol when the DEI budget was originally cut.
High Springs has a new commissioner after Tuesday's special election. Wayne Bloodsworth beat out Chad Howell. Bloodsworth won 369 votes, while Howell finished with 305. The election was held after the resignation of former City Commissioner Steve Tapnis. Tapnis resigned after a public financial disclosure form became a requirement for city commissioners.
The GRU Authority Board is having its first meeting tonight since all 4 members resigned. All 4 members submitted their resignations earlier this month following a lawsuit settlement between state and citizen group Gainesville Residents United. The lawsuit alleged Governor Ron DeSantis' office did not have the authority to appoint multiple members to the board who lived outside of the city limits. Only 1 member will reapply to get back on the board. Tonight's meeting starts at 5:30 at GRU headquarters.
Police in Ocala need your help identifying a suspect they say drove off during a traffic stop. Officers released this surveillance picture of the suspect. They say further investigation, they determined the suspect had a small child on the dirt bike. Police say the person took off in the area of Northwest Martin Luther King Avenue and State Road 40. Police need help identifying a person who fled from officers with a small child on the dirt bike. Those with any information should contact Officer Kelly at 352-369-7000 or submit an anonymous tip to Crime Stoppers. If you use Crime Stoppers and the tip leads to an arrest, you may be eligible for a cash reward to up to $3,000.
A fire on Tuesday that left a family without a home is being investigated. Take a look at the photos of the fire as multiple Marion County fire rescue units arrived at the home around 5 a.m. to put out the fire. Only 1 person was inside during the fire, while the remaining 5 family members were outside, but they were transported to the hospital, and we will update you when we have more information on their condition. For now, the American Red Cross is assisting the family.
When we return from the break, Marion County is booming with new business and new people.
New schools are being built as the needs of more educational places rise for families. Hear from families and officials about what this means for the kids in these schools in just a few minutes. Stick with us. Leaders in one North Central Florida community are working to tackle the population boom across the county, and the upstick is causing school leaders to work overtime to prepare for the influx of new students. WUFT's Natasha Holt is live in the studio with more on what's behind the growth in Marion County.
Marion County is now the 4th fastest growing city in the nation. School and county leaders met today to discuss what the best ways are to tackle the growth. New distribution centers bringing in more jobs is one of the reasons behind the increase in families. County officials say 269 people move there every week, and that has local schools bursting at the seams.
We are educating more students than we've ever had in our entire history. 45,500 students and more every day.
County officials credit new jobs in the area for the increase in population.
That's something that Ocala Chamber of Commerce officials say they want to focus on moving forward.
You know, we've been very aggressive attracting, particularly in the manufacturing sector and in the distribution center. You can see those as you drive I-75 with AutoZone and Chewy's and FedEx.
They say those high-paying jobs, paying around $25 an hour, bring in families with school-aged children.
For us, that's part of the Ocala story. Is we feel like we're very well positioned for folks who are in those earlier stages where Ocala is a great place to raise a family, and I think you're starting to see that.
Marion County Schools spokesman Kevin Christian says the growth has led to overcrowding in their schools, but solutions to ease that are in the works. 2 new elementary schools broke ground in southwest Marion County last week, where the growth is greater. There also are plans to add a new high school in the area that would be ready for students by fall of 2026. Chamber of Commerce officials say the key to this growth dates back to their recovery strategies from the 2008 recession. After being hit hard at the time, they've diversified to focus more on industries such as distribution, high-quality healthcare, and tourism.
The addition of facilities such as the World Equestrian Center and the Florida Aquatic Swimming and Training Center, which are hosting national and international competitions, has greatly contributed to the rise in the county's tourism. Live in the studio, Natasha Holt, WUFT News.
Alachua County Sheriff's Office is celebrating the opening of its 4th precinct. This one is now open in the city of Newberry. The Sheriff's Office held a ribbon-cutting ceremony just a few minutes ago. The new precinct is on West Newberry Road. If you're looking for an event for the family this holiday weekend, the city of Alachua is hosting its annual Easter egg hunt. It runs from 10 a.m. until noon. All you need to do is head over to the Hal Brady Recreation Complex and bring your competitive spirit. It's completely free for kids, and gift baskets and eggs are being donated.
First Lady Casey DeSantis is giving back to some North Florida schools in a big way. The Hope Florida Fund, created by DeSantis in 2022, honors nonprofits for their impacts on their community. Suwannee and Columbian counties were among those recognized during the First Lady's visit. 6 nonprofits were each awarded $10,000 in support of their service to the community members, including veterans and expectant mothers. Any Floridian in need of support or those looking to connect with the Hope Florida Fund can do so at www.hopeflorida.com.
Flash flooding is the risk for tonight as thunderstorms roll through. We'll track the heavy rain threat coming up next.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back. Right now, heavy rain falling on I-75, basically from Micanopy southward. And we're going to see another wave of rain coming through. Even though Gainesville, we're about to get a little break, there's another kind of wave of heavier showers about to push through. Further to the east, we're looking at more waves of showers rolling through. We've got several more hours of this for that reason. We're in a marginal risk for flash flooding this evening. Rainfall rates could be just a little too much for that drainage to handle. That's the problem they had in Tallahassee this morning, where they had about 2 inches of rain around the FSU area. That did lead to some flash flooding this morning. Around north central Florida, not quite as much rain, but most of us getting close to an inch of rain falling through the day today. Of course, more is coming. We're going to see that rain picking up as low pressure approaches overnight tonight. It's really going to ride along where that stationary frontal boundary is through the next several hours. Temperatures going to remain nearly steady as that rain falls steady and heavy at times through the next several hours. It'll slack up a bit later into the night, and early tomorrow morning we'll start to see the skies beginning to clear up a bit, and that north wind helping to push out some of those clouds. There will be some sun at the end of the day tomorrow, but it's going to start out quite cloudy and rainy early in the day. Not much different than this for the first few hours of our Thursday. Temperatures around most of the area hovering close to 70 degrees. Rain kind of keeping that temperature steady, but we'll cool a little bit more. We'll wake up into the 60s before we see those skies clearing around lunchtime and getting much more comfortable in the afternoon. Temperatures will eventually get up into the upper 70s at the end of the day, and we're looking at a return of temperatures back up into the 80s headed into the weekend. Our second day of the weekend, Easter Sunday, that looks to be a gem. Highs will be very close to 80 degrees. No rain expected on either one of our weekend days. Taking a look at that extended forecast, rain not back into the forecast until basically 1 week from today. And unlike the past several weekends, we can finally say we've got 2 days in a row with No rain coming for Saturday and Sunday. However, showers and storms could be heavy, especially before midnight tonight. Some flash flooding is possible and maybe for the first few hours of the day tomorrow. Then it's clear sailing through the weekend.
Up next in sports, March Madness is not even over and off-season moves are already underway, especially for Florida. Find out what Gator decided to enter the transfer portal and what he had to say about his departure. All of this and more after the break. Don't go anywhere.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome into sports. I'm Miguel Molina. After losing in the first round of the NCAA men's basketball tournament, Gator Riley Kugel said enough is enough. Earlier this afternoon, the sophomore guard announced on Instagram that he is entering the transfer portal. In his post on Instagram, he said, "I'm thankful to all of Gator Nation for nothing but love and support over these past 2 years. It's been fun, and I appreciate everyone who has supported me through thick and thin." This decision comes in the wake of a roller coaster of a season where Kugel went from the starting lineup to the third option in the bench rotation. The 2022 All-SEC freshman was expected to make a big leap offensively this year, but he ended up falling short of expectations by averaging less points in more minutes. At this time, there is no update on where Kugel will play next. While one Gator basketball player is leaving for a new home, a former member of the program is getting an opportunity of a lifetime. With April just around the corner, the USA teams are starting to take form for the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris, France. Former Gator men's basketball player Kenyon Berry has been elected to join the United States 3-on-3 basketball men's national team. Kenyon, the son of NBA Hall of Famer Rick Barry, won SEC Sixth Man of the Year in 2016 with Florida. He will be joined by Jimmer Fredette, Kareem Maddox, and Dylan Travis. Although this group has won gold at the 2022 FIBA 3-on-3 Men's AmeriCup and silver at the 2023 FIBA 3-on-3 World Cup, they are looking to bring home the country's first win in this discipline at the Olympics. But regardless of the potential results, Barry is excited to play for his country.
You never are 100% sure until you get that call, and when I did get it, it was just kind of a wash of emotions. It's something that I've been working for 6-7 years now to try to make the Olympics, and to finally achieve that goal, felt like I was on top of the world.
In the words of Dory from Disney's Finding Nemo, just keep swimming. That is the mindset for the Gators men's swim and dive team as they compete tonight in Indianapolis. After finishing in 6th place in last year's NCAA championships, number 2 Florida's Avenge Tour starts tonight. The Gators are sending 16 swimmers and 4 divers to take the pool at the IU Natatorium. The Orange and Blue have the 3rd most qualified swimmers behind Arizona State with 17 and North Carolina State with 18. Tonight at 6, Florida will compete in the finals of the 200-yard medley relay. Right after that, the men will try to win the 800-yard freestyle relay. In any sport, winning ain't easy. But the way the Gators softball team is playing right now, winning cannot look any easier. After number 9 Florida swept number 23 Kentucky this past weekend, they now move to 29-4 on the season and have won 8 in a row. The Gators were really swinging for the fences in the series against the Wildcats, scoring a whopping 26 runs. On defense, Keegan Rothrock continued her pitching streak by throwing 9 strikeouts and allowing only 3 runs in 2 games. Against Mississippi State, Florida will look to grad senior Skylar Wallace to light up the scoreboard. Wallace was awarded SEC Player of the Week after putting up 6 hits, 8 runs scored, and 7 RBIs in her last 4 games. First pitch against the Bulldogs is set for Thursday at 6 p.m. One final note, the Gators women's volleyball team is back in action tonight for their spring season. They will take on UCF in Orlando at 6.
Thanks, Miguel. One last look at the weather before we go.
Yeah, we got showers and storms coming all night. They'll end tomorrow morning. The sun will come out by the end of the day, but the weekend looks great. We've got 2 days of sunshine, both Saturday and for Easter Sunday.
Thanks for joining us. We're back here tomorrow for another edition of First at 5.
But your North Central Florida news is always on at WUFT.org and on all our social platforms. Have a good night.